This video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. Hello friends, and welcome back to another speed build, and today I have early access to the new expansion pack, which means it's time to build. And I'm so excited. This is the first thing I've built with the new pack, and I had a lot of fun. I think one thing about this pack I've been struggling with for the past week, ever since realizing, oh my god, I get access to this pack really soon, is that I had absolutely no idea what to build. I am not someone who's ever been to any kind of summer camp, which is the first thing in my brain that I was like, oh, I need to build a camp, which is what I did end up doing, but I have never been to something like this in my life. The closest I've been to any kind of summer camp is basketball camp, which is absolutely nothing like the kind of camp that is, you know, the one that's in The Sims right now, because we would just go sleep in just somewhere. We'd all go sleep, we'd go play basketball, and then maybe we'd go swimming. And that was kind of it. But there wasn't like, you don't have this idea of like, oh, you have a summer camp and then everyone roasts marshmallows and you do archery and like all of this stuff that exists in the Sims universe of camps right now did not exist in my life. So I had absolutely no idea what I wanted this to look like, and finding references for something like this is also very difficult. That being said though, I figured it out and I had a lot of fun with this. I really enjoyed doing this build and I think it turned out really fun. I did struggle with the layout of this for a while, and later on in the video, honestly pretty close to the end, you'll see that I'm switching it from a 64x64 lot to a 50x50 lot because I kind of forgot how big a 64x64 lot is. I don't know how people build on that all the time and actually know how to fill all the space. 64x64 lots are so big, and I do not know what to do with all that stuff. Even though this has like 4 different buildings and a bunch of different areas, I just didn't know where to put it all. And I was planning to add a bunch of things that I didn't end up adding, but I don't know how I would have fit them all in a way that looked nice instead of just messy. So I think I'm okay with what I've done. Anyway, you'll see me. I started with all of the like little campers, children's lodges. I ended up building 3 of them, but they're all the same. I really struggled with how to lay them out because in my head I was like, I want to put a bunch of bunk beds, but I think you cannot actually have that many campers. I think I looked and I'm pretty sure you can have 8 if you also have the staff members. It wouldn't let me add more than 8 kids. So there's really no point in even having the 3 lodges that I had, because, you know, I mean, you can't even fill those up all the way, because that's 9 kids already that would fit in those. But in my ideal world, I would have put bunk beds, made it like really tight and crowded, but like cozy, the way that I would imagine it would be in a film. But honestly, it was already really hard to put all of these beds in. I kind of like that I didn't have to deal with bunk beds. But I think the items in this pack are really cute. The fact that you have so many like little camp items and you have the desks and the dressers and stuff that look a bit worn and they have stickers on them, it's so cute. We've got all these little decorative items that are really fun. I have a lot of problems with curtains in this game a lot of the time. The curtains on this that are just like rolled up kind of like a tent fit so well on the windows. I was so pleasantly surprised. It made me genuinely happy. Because I have problems with placing curtains on windows all the time, and these look good, and when you place 2 next to each other, they still fit on different sized windows. It's wonderful. So even though these curtains probably don't fit in a lot of different building styles, I'm obsessed with them and I'm very happy, and I hope that The Sims does more like this. Because they just fit so nicely. And that is something I've always wanted more of in The Sims, because we have so many curtains that only fit on like 3 types of windows, and if you don't use those, then you're stuck. Which sucks. I think just generally the build items are very beautiful. I loved the idea of building this like wooden lodge, but before I get a new Sims pack, I don't really look for what's in the pack. I don't really look at the items. I'm like, anything I see in the trailer is what I know, and anything else I will be surprised by when the pack arrives in my hands. So I had no idea what was coming for me, and I therefore did not really prepare for this pack really well. But all of the different wood things in this pack, they're all beautiful. The like stuff, the stuff I used on the walls outside, beautiful. The wood for the floors, like, we have so many different wood floors in this game by now, but they're so nice, and they serve like a different purpose than the ones we already have. I am very pleased once again with the build items in this game. I will say, Cass with this pack is not as exciting as the last few packs have been, but I'm not much of a create a simmer anyway, so that doesn't really affect me that much. I'm much more of a builder, and I had so much fun with this. Anyway, what we're working on now is the room, or well, the downstairs of this building at least, is the space where all of the kids, first of all, have all of their meals, and second of all, can do any indoor activities. So that's like crafting, just general playtime. You know, they can just like hang out in here and hang out together. So if they're not hanging out outside, they at least have somewhere to go. Because I don't know what the weather is like yet in this world. I don't know if there's a lot of storms or rain. Let's hope not, because these camps would be horrible if you're stuck in a thunderstorm for multiple days. But there is some inside space, and then the outside space for them to eat is still covered. So if there was a thunderstorm, your kids wouldn't go sit outside at a bench, get struck by lightning, because that would be bad. But I tried really hard to make the inside cozy. I love the picnic benches with the handprints on them, and I was gonna use them inside, and then I was like, I think they're more of an outside thing, so I put them on the outside area only, and then I switched to normal tables on the inside eventually. But those picnic benches, they're so cute, and I love them so much. And I know that we have 7 million picnic benches in this game by now, and we really do not need more. But these ones were kind of fun. I feel this way about a lot of items where I'm like, we don't need any more of these. And then they give me more of them, and I'm like, well, I can't say no to that. It's kind of nice. I'll say it's kind of cute. It serves a purpose, you know? And it's for these summer camp kind of places. It makes a lot of sense, and it makes them have a little bit more character, and I think it's fun. It makes it look like the kids are actually having a good time. They get to do something fun. I don't know. But I really liked it. I think they're really cute. But I also ended up putting the staff places upstairs in this building. You won't see that for a long time because I almost forgot until the very last second of me building this build. I had this whole vision once I started building this building that the staff was going to live upstairs, and then immediately after doing the ground floor, forgot to put stairs in to this second floor. So obviously there was no way to even get up there. So I kind of messed that up in my head. Luckily for me, it was an easy fix and I didn't really have to move a lot of stuff around. But I kind of made my life harder for myself by not putting in stairs immediately. But I don't know. I'm really excited about this build and I think it's really fun. I'm so excited to play with this new pack because like I said before, I don't really look at anything except for the trailers. I don't look at any other Simmers content, even though the Simmers who had like early access, the CFE early access, they've been posting about this pack since last week somewhere, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but they've been posting about it for a while. And I've been so actively trying to avoid the spoilers. So I haven't watched anything. I've not watched a single live stream. When I've been streaming and I've wanted to raid into another stream, I've been like, well, all of these people are playing The Sims and I don't know what they're gonna be showing me when I click on their stream, so I'm not gonna raid anyone who's playing The Sims right now. So I've been really actively avoiding a lot of people's content, even though I would normally really appreciate watching them. because I want to be surprised so bad. And the one problem with that is that I completely forget that packs are coming out. But the good thing about it is that I'm going to be so surprised when I get to play with the pack tomorrow and I get to explore it all by myself. And I'm really looking forward to it. I also had no idea how the custom lots worked until I got access to them today. And I'm really intrigued by them. I think I didn't really know what to expect from them by the way I saw them in the trailer, but you kind of get to like plan a schedule for them, and that's how you decide what the lot is for, which kind of makes it confusing because in my head I was like, well, I could just turn this into anything, but it does have to be a place where you do a thing. I mean, I don't think you need to give it a schedule, but if you don't, then I don't think the Sims are going to do anything. So, you know, I haven't fully thought of many ideas of things you can do with this, but I do think the whole idea of like a bed and breakfast would work really well. That's one of the options. I think senior living is one of the standard options, which like all of these things, they're very fun for me. Because there's some of these things I'm like, I've built these things before and they weren't functional. Like a bed and breakfast or a hotel didn't really work before. I mean, you could kind of build a bed and breakfast hotel kind of with for rent if you put the rent time on like a day. But I never actually tried that because honestly, for rent was kind of buggy. We remember this. It's been kind of a problem, so I personally haven't been playing with it that much because it was just kind of a struggle. And it's also, I don't know if this is still a problem, but it was breaking saves for a while, so I've just been kind of scared to touch it. But now we get to like actually do it, and this seems really fun. And now you also don't have to worry about running the place. You can just visit them. And the Sims around you will behave the way you want them to behave, and they'll also be going to sleep at a normal time, and like you'll be having breakfast together, and all of these things seem really fun. So I'm really excited to see what all of these options are. I think another thing that I've built before that you could probably build really well with this lot type is a homeless shelter. I know that homelessness does not exist in The Sims, but in my head, I'm always like, when I play Rags to Riches, I just want a lot that looks kind of awful. I just want like a kind of motel vibe. You know what I mean? I've built something before that I then called a homeless shelter, which, you know, it didn't really mean anything. But I liked that idea for Rags to Riches Sims, where your Sims can just like go hang out and shower and eat and hang out with other Sims and, you know, sleep there without having to sleep in the rain in a thunderstorm on a bench or on the floor, because they can do that now. But there's so many things you could do with this that really intrigue me. I think you could do like a wellness retreat. All of these things really I find very interesting. Also that you can now make like your own Love Island. Fascinating. I haven't looked into how that works yet, but I'm very intrigued by it. I'm very intrigued by it. That's when I was watching the trailer, I was like, what's happening here? When they showed the like Love Highland thing, I was like, I don't know how this ended up in this pack, because I thought we were doing summer camp. How has this become like a lover's camp? So I'm very intrigued what's gonna happen with all of these things, and I bet it's all gonna be fun. I just haven't really seen yet how it's gonna work. So we'll find out. Anyway, you'll see now that I've moved on to a different lot. This is the lot by the water where I think the kids camp is on originally. I think that's what I bulldozed when I put this on. But it's a lot smaller. Honestly, this moving from a 64 by 64 lot to a 50 by 50 lot made the 50 by 50 lot look tiny. I was like, wow, now all of the buildings I've already built have filled up the place and I don't have space for anything else. Which honestly, it was better that way, because otherwise this build is never going to be done and I wanted it out today. But you'll see me trying really hard to make sense of the layout. I think one thing I wanted with the build was that it's mostly fenced in because of, you know, there's kids here. you don't really want your kids running off into the wilderness, and you kind of want them to stay within, you know, a small radius of the camp. So I really wanted it to be fenced in without it looking awful, and I could not figure out how to do that on the original sized lot I picked, because it just looked a bit prison-like. I do think I made sense of it eventually on this one. I think it's a little bit difficult because obviously it's not fully closed off because, you know, the lot ends in water. So you could very easily swim away if you wanted to, if your child wanted to escape. They could leave, and they could also just like jump a fence. Also, the front gate, there's no gate there. They could leave anytime, but the illusion of safety is there. There's not as many exit points for a child to run away, which is what you want in a place like this. Because when I think of the people who would be taking care of the kids at a camp like this, they would be like 19-year-olds at most. Like, there's teenagers who are responsible for these kids, and then maybe one adult, like adult, who's overseeing all of these children. But I think that's the fun of it. It's kind of silly, but I like it. So I still, even on this lot, which I would not normally call small, but this small lot, in quotation marks, I still did not know what to do with the middle of the lot at all, because it just seemed like a weird space to me. I was like, I probably should have put the playground in the middle or something so that I had other stuff to put around it, but I just could not figure out what to do with it. So it ends up just having a lot of, you know, paths drawn. And then there's a little campfire in the middle. So the middle looks a little plain, but honestly, I had no other ideas that made logical sense in the middle of the camp like this, because, like, out of all the other things I wanted to add, I was like, oh, we could add a swimming pool. Well, not in the middle. Also, you don't need a swimming pool when there's open water to swim in, so the swimming pool idea was kind of stupid. I will say, I am sad I didn't get to use the diving boards, but I will build another build where I can use the diving boards and the new water slides, because that stuff's very exciting to me. I was a very intense Sims free play simmer as a child because I wasn't allowed to buy any games as a kid, and the Sims free play was free. So I played that obsessively as a kid, and in the Sims free play, you could do diving. And I'm pretty sure there were water slides. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think at the pool lot in the Sims free play, there's a slide and a diving board. And I have, for my whole life in The Sims 4, I've been thinking, why do we have these things in the Sims free play? This stupid old game that looks so ugly. No offense. I will say, I did download The Sims free play again, like last year, just as a silly little iPad game, and the graphics have improved recently. They did an update with like good lighting, and I downloaded it to check what it looked like, and it's actually a lot better. But I'm getting off topic. But I always thought, how is it possible that we have all these fun things in The Sims free play and they don't exist in The Sims 4? Where are my diving boards? And now we finally have them. So I'm very happy about that. I'm sad for all of the people who don't buy a lot of packs that it's not a base game thing. But, you know, that's just The Sims. And that's okay. I can't make excuses. Why do they keep having to make everyone pay for everything? But just know that even though they send them to me for free, the packs I mean, I'm still annoyed for you guys. I want you guys to also have diving boards and water slides, because that's so fun. Another thing that's really fun though that they added with this pack, the playground thing. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like, oh my god, this is so fun. Because I personally, the existing playground equipment in The Sims, boring. I'm sorry, but it is. Because we have like the pirate ship, and then the like alien version of the pirate ship. I don't really know what else to describe it as. I think those are the only two that are like I don't know, like a kind of playground thing that you would build a playground around. Like, you cannot build a playground lot type really without one of those. But I always thought they were a bit boring. I will say, we had a pirate ship themed one that I always went to as a kid, but it was so much cooler than the one that's in The Sims. And I think there only being 2, there was such limited options to make like a fun looking park with fun looking children play areas. With this new climbing frame thing, oh my god, you could build like the kids' playground of your dreams. You could build the most ginormous climbing slide, whatever you want. It's so fun. So I love this idea and I'm so happy it exists. It also, I wasn't sure how it would work with putting it all together and then moving it around, because obviously things slot to different parts. And that part is a little bit confusing, like when you want to move around different parts and rotate them. Rotating them especially is kind of confusing. But honestly, it's really easy and I had a lot of fun with it. I tried a few different versions because I really wanted to fit in every single object. But I realized it was a little unnecessary because I did not have that much space. So I did not need to build the most ginormous thing ever. Anyway, I did really enjoy it. Now that I've finished building, let me show you around. So obviously you can see where most things are, but we've got the entrance, we've got the fire pit in the middle, and then we've got the playground on the left, we've got an extra outdoor toilet, then we've got a little archery area. We have some place to swim. Here we have a place for the kayaks. On the right side is where the little campers can sleep in their little lodges. And then they've each got one shower and one toilet each. They are in separate rooms because obviously if they're sharing the place, it's easier that way. And then here we have the room for all the indoor activities and a kitchen for all the food. Another bathroom because you can never have enough bathrooms. We've got more bathrooms upstairs. These are for the staff specifically. Obviously, the Sims won't use them like that, but we're just gonna pretend. And then here's also the staff bedrooms. But I'm really proud of this build. I really like it. I hope you guys enjoy playing with it if you want to download it off the gallery. If you want to buy the pack when it comes out on Thursday, feel free to use code CATSICLE on the EA app. I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.